All right, guys, we are back with episode 21 of the Envisions Podcast. New year, a lot of new things going on, new connections. Today we're here with our boys from Takeover. If you guys want to introduce yourselves.
What's good, y'all? I'm Kevin.
What's up? I'm Dhayln.
Word. So getting into it, tell me about the brand. How'd you guys start it?
So for starters, it's called Tier Takeover. Stands for Take Over Everything and Reform. And the way we started it, this was actually during COVID. I was playing basketball, having a lot of back and forth with my coach. And it really was just I want to say a tough spot for me personally. So I'm like, do I really want to play basketball? And then I'm like, I want to think of like a movement of the way I live by, like my morals, my values, how I get through hard times, because I feel like that's something most people, especially younger than me, need to learn how to deal with. So the best way to figure out something like that is through clothes. Everybody likes clothes. Everybody wears clothes. Everybody expresses themselves through clothes. So I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna do clothes. I started with, I made an acronym. I didn't know what I wanted to do, but the word tier just stuck out to me. And then I just built off from every letter. The T, the takeover, the A, the T, the E, everything, the A, and reform, and just went off that. And then I wrote my mission. Let me read my mission. I even forgot that. I haven't read it in so long.
Oh, man. Yeah, what's the mission?
Get it for you guys. So the mission is to provide individuals with inspiration to go out and conquer any hardships they go through in life. Everyone goes through battles that they feel like they can't overcome. Do not let negative thoughts control your mind and steer you into the wrong direction. Take over all of your negativity and doubts to achieve your dreams. Spread positivity to others so that we all can reform and become the best versions of ourselves. Tough times don't last, tough people do. And what that means to me is like, everybody goes through a time where like they're beating themselves up, not anybody else. You're just beating yourself up. I can't do this. I won't do this. Just those negative words are gonna set you back so far. What we want people to do is kind of transform that mind that no matter what happens in your life, accept it, try to move on, boost yourself with positivity, and just keep going. Take over your mindset with positivity and reform to the best person you can be. It's kind of that in a nutshell. And I sent the mission over to Kevin, and he was like, I really like it. At first, I didn't know whether I wanted to do it by myself, and I know Kevin's like a close friend. He was going through some tough times at that time too, so I'm like, what do you think? You trying to do this or no?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then to kind of go from there, it was just kind of like we had the message, right? We knew what we wanted to share to the people. The biggest thing was if we can have a message that is meaningful and that everybody can relate and understand and, have feelings and have that empathy of like, hey, I can have this encouragement from this brand, it's going to mean a lot more than, just selling clothes itself. And that's kind of how the message started. And then from there, building the logo was kind of like a no-brainer, yeah, with a tier and a tier right inside of it.
Yeah.
But I would also say, when we first started it, to go off through what Dhayln was talking about, what our message is, I think to also highlight the time that where we made it was also an important factor, I think, because it was during the time of COVID. Like Dhayln said, he was going through it with basketball, but, people in general, like everybody was going through it, right? Everybody had their personal issues that they were going through, but we also had COVID. COVID highlighted everything and made things a lot more worse. So we felt like it was just a perfect time to kind of just start a brand and share that message. And then from there, it was just kind of history.
Yeah. I definitely feel like COVID was a strong period of self-reflection for everybody. Because like during COVID, like you didn't have anything else to do, so you were just chilling inside the house.
Right.
So like I feel like COVID either like boosted a lot of people or it just brought a lot of people down.
Right.
Like during COVID is when I kind of had the idea of building the brand as well.
Mm-hmm.
And then I don't know if I told you this, but so like our brand came along because I've always like wanted to do clothing, and then 2021 I got into a car accident. It was really bad. Like I shouldn't be alive. So then like I noticed I was like, if I want to do something, I have to start it now.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the main thing is like we all think that we have forever and then we just keep pushing back doing things, but you really don't. You could be gone tomorrow. So it's like even if I was gone tomorrow, then I know that I did something where I made an impact. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So how did you guys meet?
So we met through a mutual friend.
Yeah.
Because I grew up with a mutual friend, and then you guys went to school together, right?
Same school, yeah.
And then like we all played basketball.
Yeah.
And the mutual friend, his name is Steph.
Yeah.
His dad was a coach, so he would just bring us all to the practice.
Yeah.
Because we were a bit younger. He was a high school coach. We just went to the same practices and just met from there. And then we ended up going to Marianapolis Prep together.
Okay.
It's a prep school in
Connecticut,
Thompson, Connecticut.
Oh, really?
yeah, right outside of Worcester.
We played basketball there, and then we kind of split ways when we both went to college.
Right.
Yeah, I would say, I mean, we kind of knew each other already through basketball.
Right.
And then once we kind of became teammates at Marianapolis, we got more closer. And then throughout college, we kind of just still connected, stay close.
Yeah.
We're still really good friends.
That was the hardest part, though.
Yeah.
What, staying close?
Yeah.
Yeah.
'Cause he was, for the last, 4 or 5 years, he's been in New York. I've been in Mass.
Where'd you guys go to school?
Yeah. I went to school upstate New York. It's called
Okay.
Bard.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yep.
I had a friend that went there.
That's E3.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
You played basketball there, right?
Yeah.
Sweet. Where'd you go?
I went to UMass Dartmouth.
Oh, okay, word. Basketball too?
Yeah.
Sweet.
That's fire.
No, we'll go back. I was gonna say the mission statement's really cool. Like that's to put that all in words, like right off. Was that like right off the bat? Like you just kind of sat down one day and put that together? That's really cool. So like, what were your first steps? Like you made the mission statement, the logo, and then what did you guys do to start building the brand?
So start building the brand. So we went into it completely head first.
Yeah.
Knew nothing
It's the
about
best way
clothing.
to do it.
Just jump straight to the water.
Jump straight into it. I don't even think I got samples. I just ordered hats. And
Okay.
the hats were easy.
Okay, yeah. That's a good
everybody
start,
wears
yeah.
hats.
Mm-hmm.
It's got like 50 pairs of hats. I had one of just some black and white ones, and then I had one with the galaxy when she brought it. It was like it had the regular tier logo, then it had a background with someone sitting, like kind of like a silhouette.
Sitting down like on a hill, looking up at
hill.
the sky.
Oh, that's tough.
And kind of like the tier logo's right in the middle, and they're just overlooking. And then on the hat, it has
Rhinestones.
rhinestones.
Oh,
It's
word.
like in a
tough.
replacement of like a stars. Yeah.
That's tough.
Yeah, we went off there. And then we did another order of hats, right? We just kind of went off the hat wave because it was
Yeah.
also going to the summer. We didn't have like a design for the shirts.
Yep.
Right.
But I think when we first started off with the hats, like we only got 50 hats, and those just like flew within like 2 weeks.
Really? That's awesome.
Yeah, it was actually kind of like insane. And me and him were like,
It was taxing low key.
we were we were starting up something,
I think for the rhinestones, it was like 65 a hat.
And then the white and black one was like, what, 40?
Yeah.
Don't you
Yeah.
guys paid for them?
That's what we were selling them
Oh,
for.
okay,
Yeah,
word,
that's
word.
what we were selling them for.
No, that's pretty good then. That's not bad.
That's not bad.
Yeah, so from us, we were just like, yo, like, if we're selling hats for like 65, like, what can we do next? Like,
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
You know what I mean? So, and then we ended up ordering another batch of hats, and that ended up flying quick too. Like, we kind of,
Yeah.
what colors did we do?
We did pink, we did blue, we did green, red. I think that was it. Oh, and then we did a black, but it had a blue outline tier logo with red letters.
Mm-hmm. That's crazy. That's crazy. And you guys getting it all just made from like China and other places?
Yeah, Alibaba.
Yeah.
Yep.
Shout out to Alibaba, man.
Alibaba.
Shout out to Alibaba.
That's the spot.
That's the spot.
Yeah.
What's been like? Sorry, what were you saying?
Oh, no.
Oh, what's been like some difficulties you've seen in running the brand?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot that
There's
goes
a
into
lot.
a brand. Like this, when you start a brand, it's like, first you got to think about your designs.
Yeah.
First, you got to think about your message. You know, what pieces do you want to make? You got to think about the marketing, the content. Like, what do you want to do? Like, who's your audience? There's just like so many factors that go into the brand where you just kind of have to solidify everything to kind of understand what works for you, and then kind of just jump right into it. And then as you continue to grow your brand, you start to understand what really works for us. And I think we're in year 3 now.
4.
Year 4. Wow.
Well,
Oh, really?
yeah, about 2
Yeah,
years.
2021. Yeah.
In April will be 4 full years, I believe.
Time is just
That's
flying.
awesome.
And it flies.
Yeah, it does.
That's crazy.
So you guys been doing like, what do you do for drops? You've been doing like just whenever you kind of run out, order something new. You guys doing like seasonal drops? Like, what
Right
are you guys kind
now-
of up to?
Right now, actually, that is a good question. I think what we're doing right now is what? Seasonal drops?
Yeah, I would say it's more seasonal drop. Like right now, we're trying to. I would
Like-
say we're trying to rebrand ourselves
Yeah,
in a way.
Okay.
Yeah.
Last year was kind of more of, hey, like let's get pieces that anybody can wear, where
Right.
anybody can rock it, anybody can feel confident. And then this year, now that we've got those pieces out to everybody, and people know what tier is, now it's all right. Let's kind of go back to what we wanted to do, which was kind of make like statement pieces, like graphic designs, like the hoodie that you're wearing. Like,
Yeah, explain this.
a lot of our designs, when we come up with them, me and him are just brainstorming different ideas. But like the way we kind of brainstorm was like, how can we create a design that connects to our message? And that's the biggest thing. Like we always want to connect back to what our message is and who we are. And by people being able to see that design, they can understand that, oh, like that's tier.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So explain this design that I got on. Just got this today.
You want to explain that one?
Yeah, explain this one.
So that one is one of our best designs. I feel like I like it the most. So what that is we have the world, like Earth, kind of like blowing up, and our tier guy, our mascot, he's sitting on the TNT, and he's the reason that it's blowing up. And it really means to me, like, who cares what anybody says on planet Earth? Make it your world. Our biggest thing, our motto, I believe, it's I live in a world that take over. And we're blowing up that world, and we're creating a world that we take over.
That's it. That's hard. How did you even come up with that?
Honestly, my mind just be going. Like when I was growing up, I liked cartoons a lot. And I know that's what a lot of people resonate when they see like a cartoon.
Right.
It does something to their eyes.
Right.
So I wanted to kind of make a design that pops.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of make a design that pops with a cartoon.
Yeah. No, this is hot. This is tough. Just super cool. The print is also really nice. I like the quality of it all.
Yeah, I will say when we first came up with that design, where I think Dhayln drew it, what it looked on the paper did not look like the way it looked on the hoodie.
I didn't draw it. It was on. I was telling you, I used to mess around with the Photoshop and the Illustrator. I didn't know what to do. I just know I can get pictures from online and just
And just put up.
Put them together.
But I wasn't good at that. But I can explain it very well.
Right.
So I just made it as best as I could, and then I found a graphic designer. I shouldn't even find that graphic designer. I got it from someone else from a pop-up shop. He said, I use this guy. And then I reached out. He made that design. I was mad. I was so confused. I didn't need no second edits or anything. I'm like, oh,
That's awesome.
I'm like, you're that good.
Sometimes that happens.
So yeah, you're right. What were you saying?
I was gonna say sometimes that happens. Have you guys done other stuff like that with the graphic designs through the same guy or some of it yourself?
Yeah, same guy. We have another design. I wish we had it on. It's like that same tier guy. We still got to get a name for him.
Yeah, we're still trying to figure out a name. We got
Give us recommendations,
Pluto,
bro.
I don't know. We had different names, a bunch of different names.
Something
trying
that
to figure
sticks. But we have him kind of like facing what?
Which is on? Is it the
one I don't like and you like.
It's like it's a tier guy. He's right in the center, and there's a gate that's right in front of him, and he's like surrounded with like other tier guys. And like we also have like, have you guys ever see the little green tunnels in Mario?
Yeah.
So we have those on the side of it, and it's like tier guys popping up, and right in front of him is a wide open gate, and it's also like behind the gate is like a kind of like a carnival like type of like design in the background, and it's just him like kind of overlooking his journey.
Oh, that's
that's
tough.
sick.
I like that.
Yeah.
That's fire.
Interesting.
So are these some of the like the ones you're trying to get out to everybody, or more of like the unique stuff you're trying to do this year?
Unique stuff.
Unique.
Yeah.
So is it similar stuff like that with just different designs, or are you guys messing with like materials, pieces?
I would say we're trying to explore different pieces. Like we have a drop coming up next Tuesday where we have a thermal that's coming out that we made for the first time. We're doing long sleeves for the first time as well. But before we were just kind of just doing like your essential pieces like shorts, sweatsuits, the trucker hats, beanies. So now it's kind of like our first time actually having a collection where it's a bunch of just a variety of pieces that we honestly like really love. And with me and him, we're really picky. So we get a lot of
Same thing with
samples, and
us.
it's just, it's so hard when you get samples. Like you really want a piece that's like perfect,
Right.
that stands out, that you know that if you drop this, everyone's gonna be like, oh, I want it.
Right.
And so that's what we're trying to create.
I think that's the thing too of like figuring out what everybody wants and like trying to
Right.
just figure out which audience you need to tailor it to.
Right.
It's been the thing that I feel like we've been struggling with.
Yeah,
We got a lot of
definitely.
pieces.
And that's the hardest part about having
It is the hardest
any
part.
type of brand or clothing brand, any
Yeah.
industry that you're trying to start a company is hard.
Especially right now too. I feel like everything's so saturated. Like everyone has a clothing brand kind of thing, and if you
Right.
want to actually do well, it's got to be different, and it's not just different designs because that's also super saturated. So it's like trying to figure out the best, or sometimes it's not even the best. Like we can go get the best material, and people aren't going to understand that. But if you can get them something new that they've never had before, like sometimes that's what they're interested in. You just kind of got to figure out like who you're marketing to, and then
Right.
figure that, like you were saying earlier, and then do something with that. So we've definitely like it's so tough.
Yeah.
It's definitely, yeah. But like clothing is very difficult 'cause like you said, dude, it's crazy saturated. Like I know like 10 people off the top of my head that have clothing brands. But
Right.
they don't even have clothing brands. They have like, they just sell clothing. They don't know what a brand is. I think that's the toughest
That's the
part.
other
That
issue
is the
too.
toughest
Yeah.
part.
Yeah. Of like figuring out how to properly build the brand and then like building the community. I know that we've talked about that before. What's been like kind of the community that you guys are tailoring to? Is it like just more like younger people or like friends and family and then just
So right now it's probably like our age group around like I want to say 18 to 25. But like I was telling you, my mom, she works in the public school system. And she always comes to me and like, when you guys drop in, the kids keep asking more.
Oh really? That's funny.
Because like she's going to school in what Walid has on
Yep.
right now. So she's
Yeah.
she's drip.
She's
The kids are
dripped.
like, oh, look at my principal. She knows what it is.
Yep.
And it's like everybody keeps asking about the brand and when we're gonna drop in, and Miss, can I have this? And Miss, can I have that? So what we want to try to do is try to get out to the schools more.
Yeah.
Show some love over there because, the young kids, they love to show love. So
They do love to show love.
You know what they really like is the rubber bracelets.
yep,
Yeah,
exactly.
They-
we've
bro,
given,
they
well, he's
love
given
these.
out probably thousands of them. I'm pretty as a
Bracelets,
sub.
stickers.
Yeah, they'll take
They love
anything.
those.
But it's so funny.
Dude, I used to substitute as a teacher at one of these schools. Literally, what I do is I'd have like a certain like 5 kids, and I'd just give them like 100, and then they'd come back to me the next day, be like, "Yo, I gave all those out. Like, I need more." I'm like, "Yo, yeah, I know, bro." I'll just like wake up. I'll just wake up with like 100 new followers, and I'm like, "All right."
That's actually tough.
Getting out to the schools is definitely the move, and I feel like building that community, because like, yeah, these kids probably won't have a whole lot of money right now to spend with it, but if they can see it grow and then they can see kids like us doing it, they're gonna be like, oh, I can do it.
Right.
Yeah, like I had a kid the other day. I was at Game On. I was playing basketball, and this kid does photography. He does photography, and then I was like, oh, like that's great. Like I have a clothing brand, and then he was like, what is it? And I was like, oh, like it's Blessed Envision. I swear to God, this kid was hype. He was like, yo, that's you. And I was kind of like, yeah. And he was just acting like he just met a celebrity, and I was like, yo, I don't even remember his name. Like I feel bad.
Oh no.
But no, he was just super hyped. And it's just stuff like that that just makes you want to keep going.
That just makes your day. Yeah.
Yeah, it
Right,
definitely
right.
does.
And you don't expect it either.
No, you never know. You never
No.
know where it's gonna come from either. Because I think
Yeah.
there's people there's like customers, and then there's like, I don't know what to call them. I guess you're like your followers, but the people that are have been following for you don't even know how long. Like I know there's people that have been following the brand for years at this point, years probably too, that maybe they haven't bought anything yet, but they've been looking up to you guys and they look up to us. And then once in a while, like you'll see them and find them and you're like, wait, this is kind of who we're doing it for. Because they're more important than the customers because they're like the ideal person that you want to actually help support with the brand. Like they're getting the message, which is cool.
Yeah. You guys have like some experiences like that of just people just knowing the brand but not knowing you guys?
Yeah, actually, recently, no, I told you I do Lyft on the side.
Yep.
And in the morning, I brought some kid to school, and he didn't say anything to me the whole ride until like 2 minutes away from the school. He's like, "Hey, are you the tier guy?"
Nah, that's actually coming. You didn't tell me.
I turned around and started dying. I was like, "Yeah." I was like, "How you know that?" He's like, "Yeah, you look familiar. My friend just actually won your giveaway." And at the time, we just gave away an iPad.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And when he said that, I'm like, okay, I got to hook you up. You've been showing love. So I gave him, right before he was going to school, I gave him a couple suits and I gave him like 4 pairs of shorts. He was so happy.
That's awesome.
Oh,
That's so
man.
funny.
Are you
Dude, that
the
kid's like
tier
month
guy?
was made.
Dude, stuff like that, like you can't replace it, especially like coming from the places we come from. I know you guys were both from Worcester, right? Yeah, so like Worcester and like Alex and I grew up in Gardner. Like Gardner, there's not really a whole lot of people doing what we're doing and doing it successfully. So like when one person can do it, it's just like it inspires everybody. They're like, oh yeah, like it is possible.
Yep.
It's crazy. And then you just get known as like the local celebrity. Doesn't even make sense. So what do you guys do outside of tier?
So I do Sunrun, door-to-door knocking.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
And I also work out. I play basketball. Really don't do anything much.
Yeah.
Just a chill guy.
You've been doing Sunrun since you graduated?
Nah, I started in September.
Okay.
September.
Okay. So what did you get? You graduated college?
I graduated college. I went
Okay.
to UMass Dartmouth.
What'd you get a degree in?
Small business and entrepreneurship.
Oh, cool. Okay.
And then after college, I did. I worked with kids in like DCF care, like an emergency
Oh, okay.
home. I did that for about a year. I don't want to say I hated it, but like, I just don't want to go to work and I don't enjoy my job.
Yeah.
Right.
The kids are awesome. Like, don't get me wrong, the kids are awesome, but like, that's not something I see myself doing 10 years from now,
Right.
5 years from now. It's just temporary. So, my cousin put me onto the opportunity of Sunrun, and I knew that the money was good, and I kind of knew like that could help me bring my brand
Right.
to the next level.
It's been good so far?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm going.
Yeah.
A couple installs.
Oh, awesome.
Couple installs.
You about to
Sweet,
get
sweet.
paid this Friday.
Yes.
We're about to get paid this Friday. What about you, Kev? What do you do outside of this?
Me, similar to Dhayln, hoop, workout, but I currently work in wealth management out in Connecticut. It's called a company called WHC Strategic Wealth Advisor. Started up in June after I graduated in May. I got my bachelor's and my master's in economics.
Yeah.
So when I started, ever since I started, I've been enjoying it. I've been loving it a lot. I knew that I wanted to be like in finance, but I didn't want to be in like the normal type of finance where I'm just kind of like coming in and doing my own work at a computer screen all day. I knew that I wanted to like do that type of work as well, but then also like actually engage with people. And so the one thing that I love about the company is that we work with a lot of different clients and we kind of work as a fiduciary business where we're kind of doing everything out of the best for the client and what's best for them. And so usually how we meet clients is like we get to know them and actually build a relationship with them. And so like I'm kind of that forefront person of being able to meet them and getting to know them. And that's probably one of the best part about the job.
That's awesome.
Before we get into that, like, let me ask you, how do you manage your time? Because it's clear that you guys both do a lot of different things. How do you guys go about time management?
So, time management. It was tough the first couple years because we were far away from each other. He had season, I had season, and then he had an injury. So I know it was like a dark time for him. But for now, we live together. So it's like,
God, we gotta do that.
it's like
It's a game changer.
I've been
since
thinking
we're
about it.
together, we're always kind of working.
Yeah.
Right.
Since we live together, no matter what the day is,
Yeah.
Right.
I can do my regular day-to-day things. I know he's coming home, and he knows I'm coming home. Like that's the time to work on the brand.
Yep.
Yeah. I was saying like when we were apart, like it was tough because he had a whole basketball season, he had
Yep.
school, like I had the same exact thing.
Yep.
And so like finding a time to like connect and to talk about the brand was tough. Like we actually had to like schedule a time, like or just even texting. Like texting sometimes it just had to be text because we were just so busy.
Yeah. You're
the same
not
thing with
alone
us.
there. No, 100% no. Like when we first started, there were 3 of us, and you were still in school.
I was still in school.
You were
yeah.
still in school. Angel was in school at that point, question mark. And then it was my freshman year. And then it's still bad where Owalid graduated, started working full time, but I was still in school and working and running 3-season sports. And then
Directing
now
a movie.
it's,
and
yeah,
then cinematography.
because cross country track, indoor track, outdoor track. So we just
Yeah.
don't stop at that level, unfortunately. So it's the same thing where it's like, okay, 9 o'clock on Monday, like this is our call, and that's the one time a week where we're actually like face to face on a call working. Because the rest of the time it's just texting back and forth and like trying to do our own thing.
Right.
But I've definitely been thinking about it a lot lately of how
Yeah.
much I need to just be in the same room because we'd probably get so much more done and so much like just better stuff done.
Yeah.
Because being separate is just so hard. It's
Yeah.
just not. People don't understand how hard it is.
Bro, living is expensive now.
It is.
It's expensive.
It is.
I'm trying to buy like a rental property, and I'm like, if we do that, we just live in one roof, and then we'll just cook.
Yeah, just
24
have a
hours
studio
day.
there, something like that. Yeah.
But
Put some
yeah, it's
panels on
insane.
it.
What you say?
I said put some panels on it.
Pyramids
Get a new
keep
roof.
solar. Some people that do that, they'll just
Yeah.
buy a property, put solar on it, and then they'll just take the commission and use it as another down payment.
Yeah, exactly. It makes sense.
Pyramid scheme solar.
Pyramid scheme. I don't know if it's quite that, but it's smart.
I mean, it's smart.
Yeah.
What were you guys asking before?
I was gonna ask you how's it been for you guys now that you guys are like working and then handling the brand as well?
So I think for us, Alex and I do pretty separate things in terms of the brand. So like me, what I've been doing and like is I've been doing like a lot of the client management of just like reaching out to new people, finding new people to manufacture and collaborate with. And then Alex has been doing a lot of like the brand building side of it, which I feel like that's the things that we kind of specialize in. Or
Yeah, because right now we run like Blessed Envision, which is like the brand side, like the actual clothing brand, and then Envision Studios, which is the company that we made, like the design agency basically, where we're designing and manufacturing for other companies. So Owalid can handle a lot of that stuff, especially with Sunrun right now, where he just got back from a meeting today from a client that I would have no chance of getting to. So he can handle client meetings, do all the sales stuff on that end. And then in the back end, I can do design work for the client stuff if it's like crazy logos or anything that we need done. And then just focus on trying to figure out how to keep growing the brand while Owalid's doing that. But
Right.
it works to maintain. Like we could probably keep doing okay like that, but I think when we come together is when things actually like get better and you just collaborate because you need it. Because if not, it's just gonna go and
Like
eventually
separate
fade out.
ways.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I think to go off of that, I think just having a partner in any type of business is so beneficial. Like
Yeah.
you both learn, like me and Dhayln have learned so much
Right.
from just being in tier for the past 4 years, from like what we started to like what we know now. Like, and I know you guys
insane.
probably
Yeah,
you guys
absolutely.
learned so much
Yeah.
from just being with a partner and just learning to hold each other accountable and
Yeah.
figuring how to work with each other.
Right.
It really helps a lot.
That's the biggest thing.
Yeah. So continue.
Oh, I was just gonna say, like the discipline of it, you can like think you're gonna do it on your own, but you're never gonna do it on your own. And you absolutely need other people to just do it every day and to get better at doing it.
And then it's also good because like it just kind of holds you accountable. Like if I told Alex, hey, I need to have this and this ready, Alex would be like, do you have it done yet? And I'm like, oh damn. I'm just going through Instagram for the last 2 hours, and Alex just texted me. I was like, I gotta lock in, like gotta lock in, like gotta finish this.
Yep.
But yeah, no, I agree. I feel like too many people just want to do it by themselves.
Yeah,
That's the
it's-
biggest
it's
issue.
hard.
I think it's also a lie out there that people do it by themselves. Like if you think about some of these, like I'm trying to think of like single brand owners, but there's really not that many. Even if the studio is under their name or it's their name is the brand, they're never doing it alone. They've always probably had 2 or 3 people with them at least the whole time to get to that level. Like no one's actually doing it on their own.
You can't really make it. Like, there's a lot of stuff that I'm like, yo, I think this is hot. And Alex is just like, nah, like, this isn't it. Or, like, I'll do something and Alex is like, okay, this is good, but what if we improve it like this? And then usually, like, the back and forth and finding somebody who, like, you can collaborate with properly, my game changer.
Opposite skill sets too.
Yeah.
Waleed is really good like face-to-face sales, like obviously with the door-to-door thing too. That's why when you wanted to do that, I was like, yeah, you're probably gonna be pretty good at that, because I already knew he could like go into a client meeting and just talk. Whereas like I can handle the back end of like, Waleed knows some like Photoshop, Illustrator stuff, but like that's what I do full time outside of this is like creative work. So I can handle all that stuff, and then when we come together, then we can actually make something bigger than both of us.
Yeah. Talk a little bit about what you do, because you do everything.
I do I do like freelance photo, video, graphic design work. I just directed a movie this summer. It's almost done. Wow. Yeah.
I was in it for about 2 seconds.
You're in it for like a minute. You got like a whole minute.
Yes.
Yes, that's what I do. And then I'm still in school. But
Yeah, he just does everything.
Yeah.
He's just sugarcoating it. This kid graduated first in his class, second in his class.
Yeah, second.
It's crazy, but like,
It's big time.
yeah,
Small class.
it's crazy, but yeah, it's definitely. I feel like time management is huge, and I feel like living together, if we could manage that, it'd be great. But even with that, like having different schedules always is.
Yeah.
It's definitely a little difficult. Yeah, because you're probably working like a 9 to 5 job.
Yeah,
right
9
now?
to 5.
Yeah, and then Dhaylon's probably getting home pretty late from like the door knocking. But then when you're together, you could just cook.
Right.
Yeah, literally when because we usually get back like around the same time usually.
Okay.
So once we see each other, we're just talking about our day, and then as we just have a normal conversation, we just end up talking about tier.
Yeah, exactly.
It just
Yeah.
naturally just happens.
How long has it been like that now since you guys graduated? That you've lived together?
Since I think it might have been end of July, beginning of August.
Yeah. And it's been good working on that stuff? Like, is it ever too much where you're like, all right, today we're not doing it? Or like, just leave me
Nah,
alone today? You guys are, yeah.
I honestly like love it, to be honest. Like being roommates, like it's easy for us to communicate. Like, you know, we have a storage that's 2 minutes away. Dhaylon would just be like, yo, can you go to the storage real quick, pick this up?
Yep.
Like communication is just so easy now, and
Yeah.
it's really beneficial.
Oh, so you guys have like a storage place where you guys keep everything?
That makes sense.
Oh, smart.
We would need it. Probably will need it soon.
We have a lot of stuff in
Yeah,
the basement.
yeah.
Yeah. I'll take you on a trip in the in the warehouse
tour.
soon. I gotta get that basement finished.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, it'd look much nicer down there. Huh? Yeah. Yeah. Maybe if you get some solar done. I need some money, man. Like, get cooked. The permits are killing me right now, bro. That's crazy. So, like, what were in terms of your designs? Like, I know you guys have these ideas and kind of like execute them, but growing up, I'm assuming you guys are probably into fashion. What were like some of your inspirations growing up?
So for me, I've never been into like crazy fashion or anything.
Yeah.
I went to a Catholic school, so I didn't really have to worry about the way I'm dressing.
Mm-hmm.
I was always an athlete. I didn't really go outside,
Yeah.
but I like colors. That's what I tell him. I like colors.
I do like colors.
Like, and I know like fashion is big on colors and putting things together. Like I know how to balance colors. I know how to make things work. That's why I feel like I can be good in fashion, but like in terms of like following trends and fashion designers, I've never been that type of person.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Nah, I'm not gonna lie. Dhaylon knows how to put like colors together and what works really well. Like I would have never thought like putting certain colors together, and so I think he has like a great like color palette, if that makes sense.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah. What about you, Alex? What have been some of your inspirations behind clothing, stuff you want to do?
I don't know. I've been thinking about that too. Like, this is going back to what we were saying earlier with like finding the audience of who you want to. It's also tough to make like, this is a super cool design, but it's tough to market these kind of designs, and because we have the same issue when like right now the fashion trends are back to like 90s stuff, which was like either some graphic tees, but a lot of what people are buying now is just blank, boring stuff. So what I've been trying to, like what I want to do this year is keep improving materials. We've been working really hard on like just even hoodie materials, narrowing it down for years at this point.
Yeah.
and then try to make some pieces that can be plain but are super well designed with material and cut and everything like that. Try to find something like that. I don't know.
Yeah. Have you guys like looked a lot into like materials and like print styles and stuff like that, or has it just kind of been like, here's a design, we want it on a hoodie, figure it out?
No, I wouldn't say like really looked into it. Like when I go and I order stuff, I would just ask the manufacturer like, what do you guys have? Send me pictures.
Right.
And then I'll kind of just get a gist of what I want to do. Ooh, I like that. Let me see what this would look like.
Right.
And then that's kind of like how I go off what I want to do. But I don't like search it up like, what's this material? What's that material?
Right.
I see what they have, and then I get an idea of like what I can do with it, and I work off that. I like working on the fly like that.
Yeah.
You gotta move quick, honestly.
You do. You really do. Do you guys have like your own roles within the brand?
That's what we're trying to figure out now. Right now, we're just kind of like doing everything together. Like if I'm modeling, Kevin's modeling. If I'm doing the finances, Kevin's doing the finances. I know that it shouldn't be like that. There should be some roles. But shout out to my sister. She's been on our butt.
Shout out to Journey, yeah.
She's been on our butt of like trying to get things done. He should do this. I should do this, and just holding us accountable. We got to actually sit down and talk about like what our roles are want to be, because like we'll sit down and talk about it, and then we'll end up still doing what we're doing.
Yeah.
And then, like
but like it works though. Like
Yeah,
it does.
it
Like
works.
I think either way, like it works.
Yeah, no, I
Right.
think
We
it does
figure
end
out.
up working, especially when you guys are together anyway.
yeah.
A lot of times it takes two people to figure it out. So, I mean, you have the economics background, but you don't have too much into like accounting and stuff like that, right?
No.
So you still gotta kind of you guys gotta be together. And then how much did you learn from like, you have what, small business and entrepreneurship? What was it?
Entrepreneurship.
So how much have you been able to actually apply to what you're doing?
To be honest, I didn't apply anything.
Yep. That's what I figured the answer was
Like
gonna
college.
Like if you're a business major, you're not gonna learn much in school.
Right.
But pay attention in school. You're not gonna learn much attention. You're not gonna learn much for business. Everything is kind of on the fly, or you can learn like in the internet.
Yeah, honestly. I feel like business school just teaches you how to work for somebody else. It doesn't really
Exactly,
teach you how to run
yeah.
your own business. And I'm
Yeah.
surprised even with like a small business one too, that you're that
I'm
like not
even-
using any of it, but
Yeah, no, I'm not gonna lie. Like I have my master's too, and I don't even really apply it as
Wow.
much.
really.
I think how I learned how to like what works for me was like when I was younger, like I was always into like clothes and shoes.
Yeah.
And so I was like low key like a reseller, and so
Low key.
high key. I was high key to selling shoes and clothes, so like I was
Yeah.
always ready for like drops and ready to flip
Yeah.
shoes, right? Like back then it was like Supreme, you had retros, you had Nike SBs. Like if you were able to get them on release day, like for $100, that's an easy flip for like $450.
Yep.
Right. Yeah.
So I started pretty young at like 12 and 13
Wow,
to
okay.
understand like the margins to like make
Yeah,
money.
figure out cash flow. Yeah.
Yeah, just figure out that cash flow. And so I was just like, yo, let me just do this on the side. And because I already had interest in shoes and clothes, I can either, if I do get, that product, I can either keep it or I can flip it.
Right.
Yeah.
So it was like a win-and-win regardless.
That was kind of my background too. Like before I had the brand, Hal would be having like shipments coming in every day. It'd be like, Bro, it'd be like
Be a couple
shoes or
boxes,
clothes.
couple clothes.
My mom would be like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "Yo, like, don't even worry about it.
Yeah, I'm gonna figure it out.
Don't even worry about it." But like, yeah, dude, like I'd be buying mad clothes, mad shoes, wasting mad money, like, and then eventually got to a point where I'm like, "Yo, like, I'm not even. All I'm doing is promoting other people's brands. Like, I want my own thing." So then, like, when I opened my own clothing brand, I like sold off like everything. And now it's just like focusing on building my brand, and like every single time I wear something of mine out, people compliment it, even if whether they know it's mine or whether they don't know it's mine. Like, and that just means more to me than being like, "Yo, that's a nice, Dior hoodie." It's crazy. It's crazy.
That's facts.
Yeah, the sneaker game was hot for a while, and then
Just
kinda
dropped.
it's not good anymore. I don't want to be in the
I
sneaker
mean,
game
that's
anymore.
that's also the same with fashion, like you said
Yeah.
earlier. Like now it's kind of like 90s, like kind of baggy, simple. And I think the hardest part about like having a clothing brand is like staying up to date with the fashion,
Yeah.
right? Staying up to date with the fashion of like, how can I also create pieces that also is also trending at the same
Right.
time?
Yep.
You know what I mean? Because that's like a big drive, especially with younger audience. Like they want to stay up to date with everything.
Right.
They want to have a fire piece, and they also want to be relatable. And so I think that's what we're trying to do as well. Like, how can we continue to stay on that trend,
Yeah.
but also create pieces that we like and actually has meaning behind it?
Right. What are you thinking? Were you thinking something?
No.
I thought you were about to say
No.
something. Anything else you guys want to get into?
Oh, how did you guys start your brand?
Oh, I actually didn't tell you that. So, like I said, I was in that car accident, and then I wanted to do something. And when we started the brand, I started it with a partner who isn't in the business anymore, but he had a Instagram by the name of Blessed Envision. We were like, before we found the name, we were like going back and forth on ideas of like what to name it and whatever. And he just happened to have an Instagram by the name of Blessed Envision. So I was like, we're gonna take that, we're gonna run with it. So we got that, we got the name down, and then what else was there? So me and him were hitting an ab workout one day, and I was like, yo, like I can't do this. And he was like, yo, it's a mindset. And then I was driving home and I'm like, it's a mindset. And then that became the motto for the brand. So, and then we took the motto and then we related it to the brand itself. So the brand is built off of two mindsets. It's the mindset of being blessed, which is knowing that we have all this, we're blessed to have it. But then it's the mindset of envision, which is knowing that no matter what you have, there's always something more to work towards. And then the logo also relates to it, which I think you guys have probably seen the logo, but it was based off an infinity sign. And the infinity sign, and it had the B and the E in it. And the infinity signs basically just signifies how if you try to count your blessings, there's an infinite amount of blessings. But then if you're trying to count your envisions and what you want to do in the future, there's an infinite amount of that. That's kind of how we started it. And then Alex joined in.
Cold DM.
Cold DM.
I was like, hey, your photos were kind of bad. Like, let's do a photo shoot. Because they were the first photo shoot you guys
I
did.
took those, bro.
And then I started in like October. And you guys realistically started in like August.
Yeah.
Was
yeah.
when like the first drop came in, I think, right? Something like that.
Something like that.
It was like a couple t-shirts, so.
The first t-shirts we got, bro, we got them from China, and I'm telling you, the collars were like out to here, and then the t-shirts like went down to like right above my knees, and I was like, I cannot sell these. They were
did you
bad.
use?
Huh?
What did you use?
I don't even remember. It wasn't Alibaba. I don't remember
What
where I
was
got
it?
them. I don't remember.
Oh
I
no.
don't even want to get into it, but they were not good. And then we had to like go back to the drawing board, and then we found another manufacturer, and it's a manufacturer that I'm currently working with. But the first time that he was making t-shirts, he made me a sample, sent me pictures, and I was like, that looks great. Let's run it. And then he made me, I think it was like 20 or 30 shirts. He made the shirts, and the logo was upside down. So he literally made our logo upside down. I was like, bro, like I'm not paying for these. Right. And he was like, no, like I made them. You have to pay me. I'm like, I'm not paying you for these. Like you made the logo upside down. And then he fixed it. And then I didn't end up paying him for the defective shirts. But he sent it to me anyway.
What did you do with them?
Huh?
What did you do with them?
I ended up giving them away.
I have them. Like, I missed when the first drop came in, so I never got the originals. So my set of those shirts and my brother's set of those shirts and some of my friends' set of those shirts are all the fake ones. And I didn't even realize, like, at first. Well, they're not fake, but no one, you can't tell, like, honestly. It's the difference of, like, two little lines, the way it works out.
I mean, yeah, but I could tell because I designed the logo.
Yeah, you knew.
Most people couldn't tell, probably, but I didn't want to sell that.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, we kind of just, like, got it all together. Alex coming on was the best addition because I didn't know what I was doing with photography, didn't know what I was doing with graphic design. And then now we kind of have a model where like we know what each of us are doing.
Yeah, that took a lot of work though. So that was, I came on in fall 22. We went through 23 with the three of us. And then summer 23, we hired 2 more people.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so we had like
you
two like interns, I guess, for the summer, which was too much because we really like we were like, okay, we can like take on 2 people, have all this work for them, and we thought we had all this work for them, but like didn't really know how to actually manage them and had difficulty with the people. Honestly, a lot of which was our fault. And so
Yeah.
then by the end of the fall, we were cut down at that point. We were cut down to just me and Waleed.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
Yeah. And then it ended up working better, and we did a whole bunch of stuff. We had our first fashion show last year, this summer, all sorts of stuff, and it just went up from there. But
I
now
DM'd
I think
you guys before that fashion show, and you guys never responded. Y'all should have been in that, bro.
we'll run it back this year. We'll get you
We're
guys
gonna run
there.
it back.
Definitely be there this year for sure.
Yeah.
But I think we're at that point again where now it's like, okay, we have a lot to do, but how do we hire on another person again? But it's so hard because, like, I'm sure you guys know, working together this long, how are we gonna find one other person that fits with the both of us and has like that same level of passion? Because that's something that we struggled with so hard
Passion.
when hiring somebody else on. It's like, hey, we have to do this, and like normally we would do it. We just ran out of time to do it, but can you do it? And that person just wouldn't, like, never got around to it, like, magically, or just kind of half-assed it. And we're like, why? Like, come on, like, we weren't paying them, but also like, hey, like,
They wanted to be a part
when you
of
put it like
it.
that, exactly though. Like, they came out and they're like, hey, like, we want to be a part of this, and they said all this stuff, but like, you're not
really
showing
about-
it.
yeah.
Yeah, it
Right.
didn't mean
Okay, that
anything.
changes, yeah.
Nobody really understands what it means to do what we do. Like, this freelance kind of, you get paid when you work hard sort of thing. They're
Right.
just used to the check coming in hourly, and it just doesn't work like
Yeah,
that.
if you're doing it for a
doesn't.
check, then it's just
Yeah, it's
Right.
never gonna
work out.
work. Yeah,
Like realistically, Alex and I still haven't taken a single dollar out of the brand.
right.
Every single dollar has just been reinvested back into the brand, whether it's like new clothes or like new samples, like stuff to show other people. And like, we've done pretty well.
Yeah, besides the $8,000 marketing agency.
Don't talk about it.
Don't hire an external marketing agency.
Dude, they actually haven't even DM'd me back.
Oh, they're gone. They kicked us off the Slack, and I don't think the company exists anymore.
Wow.
We spent $8,000 in like
It was
$3
$11,000, dude. It wasn't
It's
even
$11,000?
Yes, because it was
For models?
no.
No,
What
for
was
them
it
to
was-
do,
Like marketing and ads and everything?
yeah.
Yeah, and it was
they ended up
trash.
doing nothing, yeah.
Yeah, because it was 2.5 for the first 2 months, and it was 3,000 for the last 2 months. So
Oh, shit.
11 grand.
Plus all the ad spend.
Yeah, we not a
They
good
made
idea.
like 4 sales, and it was all friends that were going to buy stuff anyway. And they're like, we made a sale, and they're like, dude, that's like my cousin.
It's like
You didn't market to him. Because the whole thing we said with them is like, I don't know how it is for you guys, because is a lot of your sales like through friends basically? Or do you ever have, like, how much of your sales is like people that you've never met?
It's getting there. It's getting up
getting
there.
there.
It's getting there. That's
fir-
that's been the whole thing for us.
The first thing we ask, like when we get a new sales, like, do you know this person?
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
when we both say no, we both get hired.
Yeah, exactly.
could relate to
No, that's exactly it though. That's what Waleed and I were talking about. And so at that point, like probably a year ago now in February, when we first started talking to this group, it was like, hey, like we want to make sales from people we've never met before, because that's the only way we're actually gonna like exponentially grow. And they're like, yeah, like we got this, like this guy, but he just never had done anything in this industry. And he was like, it's a cakewalk, like guaranteed all this stuff, like 100K in sales, like all this different stuff. And we were like,
got
okay,
scammed.
yeah, and then they couldn't figure it out. So
But then I feel like basically the main reason why we rolled with them is like we did feel like we were safe with them, because essentially what they promised us was, hey, you pay us the money up front, great. But then they were like, we work for you until you make the money back. And then they ghosted us. So I don't think we're getting that money back. I think we're just fried. Like,
yeah, but
take the L, move on. Like,
Yeah.
we made the money back pretty easily.
yeah,
So there was that. But besides that, we haven't really outsourced anything, which is kind of big
it is
for
nice.
us.
Yeah,
Because besides that, all of our graphic design is done in-home. All of the spec work, like all the research I do, client outreach I do, Alex does, the brand building, the photography, the videography. So like we've kind of managed to almost cut costs.
it cuts
Just by-
costs and it like definitely raises quality. But there is a point where you just run out of time to do it, where we're both so busy, where it's like, okay, like we
Right.
can't.
Yeah.
I can't edit. Like there's stuff I'm sure I'd love to do for the brand. We just can't do it. So some point
Yeah.
sooner or later, it's going to be like, okay, it's worth the money to spend to get somebody. How has that been like with the graphic designer?
The
Been all
graph-
right?
For a graphic designer, in year 4 we're in,
Yeah.
we're still looking for a consistent one.
Really?
Really,
Yeah,
It's
we're still-
tough.
it's very tough.
Because a lot of the people we work with, like you said earlier, we're really picky.
Yeah.
And we'll give you a couple times.
Mhm.
But like if you aren't really getting what we're saying or
Yeah.
trying to like bring out the vision, like we're gonna have to look somewhere else.
Exactly.
Right.
Where are you
Yes.
looking?
Instagram.
Instagram.
Instagram. I tried Fiverr.
Fiverr's
People we know.
People we know.
Yeah.
It's like the dude that made those.
Mm-hmm.
He was pretty good, but for graphic designs, I don't want only graphic designs for just clothes. I was looking for someone for just like all around content.
Okay.
Right.
Just like so I can just have one person do everything. I don't want to have one person just do my designs and then I want to post something that has like a nice graphic. I don't want to reach out to another person.
Yeah.
I gotcha.
It's so tough because you're just not gonna find someone that you can either. It's like gonna be like one of 2 or 3 things. It's gonna be they're either gonna be too expensive, not good at everything, or just like not put the quality into it. So
Right.
you gotta pick like either you want a really good one that's gonna be really expensive and might eventually get what you want, one that like just happens to get what you want, but it'll probably still be expensive, or like just a cheap option. But that sucks. But it's just tough. I wouldn't even know where to start if we had to outsource that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the language barrier, it hurts a lot too.
Yeah.
Most of them are come from like a third world country,
Okay.
so like they know some English, but
Where are you finding them?
I just
They're from everywhere.
anywhere I can find
They
them
just
from.
contact us either through Instagram.
Oh.
Then they just
Yeah.
they're just trying
Okay.
to see what they like what they can work with or what their potential is, and
Mm-hmm.
kind of just give them an opportunity to see what they can cook up.
Yeah. I feel like the best thing for us is like I have an Alex. He just does all that. Great time. But like learning how to do a lot of that stuff saves us so much time because it's like no back and forth. It's like I know that I'm doing it, and then if I need to fix something, I can just go in and do it real quick. Or if Alex is doing it, we're both on the phone, getting like the final tweaks in of like, oh yeah, change this or make this bigger. So saves a lot of time, but it is very difficult learning it initially, like learning those programs. They're loaded.
Yeah, they're very loaded. I think Dhayln. I think Dhayln gets a good hang of all the different programs.
Oh,
like,
It's just so many shortcuts. That's really all it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't know any of the shortcuts, so what I'm doing or what I want to do takes much longer because I don't know how to get there, like
Yeah.
the
just
easy.
one button.
You
Well,
can't
one
like
button.
translate like what you
Yes,
want to do to
yes,
how to do
exactly,
it. That's what's
exactly.
really tough. It's really not a friendly platform either. I hate Illustrator like coming from Photoshop side too because they don't even speak the same language, which just doesn't make any sense.
It really doesn't make sense.
And then
Right,
I
you
just
wanna-
look at the camera like, I mean, I look at the screen like, just something pop up. Like,
Yo, like if you can hear me right now,
just pop up.
just fix it.
Oh, it's been a long day, man. So the way that we wrap up our podcast is we say one thing we're blessed with and one thing we're envisioning for the future. You want to start?
Yeah, I'll start. One thing I'm blessed with, it's a new year, new opportunity to get things rolling again. It's consistency. It's the second podcast of the year, so I'm excited to stack these up this year with new people. Glad to meet you guys today. It was fun. And envisioning consistency of just like building this year, keeping everything rolling and adding new stuff on top. Because I think last year we did a lot of new stuff, but it was definitely tough to keep the things that we did at the base rolling. And I think if we can put everything together this year, it'll be a big year.
Yeah. One thing I'm blessed with is I feel like I say the exact same thing every podcast, but I feel like one thing I'm blessed with is just the people I meet, and I feel like every single day is just a different blessing with just the people I'm meeting and the things that I'm doing and just like the opportunities that are literally just being given to me. And I'm just envisioning taking things and running with it this year because last year was a really big year of just like building foundations, which I feel like we did 22 or 23 and 22, but I really feel like our foundation is kind of built now. So now it's just taking it and running with it and just seeing how far we could take it. So yeah, one thing you're blessed with, one thing you're envisioning.
Man, I'm just blessed to be here. Appreciate you guys inviting us. I think this is
Appreciate you
our
guys
first
coming,
ever
bro.
podcast.
Oh yeah,
Let's go.
Let's go.
Yeah, so definitely truly blessed for this opportunity. Appreciate you
Yeah.
guys a lot.
Yeah.
Blessed to just have great people around me, friends, family. Blessed for another year of 2025 and envisioning for another year of success and growth.
Word.
Me?
Yeah.
So one thing I'm blessed with just life in general. A lot of people didn't make it 2025, and we kind of overlook life, and we just got to take it day by day and stick to what we can do to continue to win. One thing I'm envisioning, just more takeovers.
More takeovers.
More takeovers. That's all I can say.
Yeah. I do want to end the podcast with one more note. So when Dhayln and I were outside yesterday, there was a lady that we were talking to, and her advice was, so basically we were talking to her about solar, and she said that, hey, like, I have stage 4 breast cancer. And her advice to us was, what was it? Do you remember? She was like,
Enjoy life. Don't take anything for granted. You have a lot of money. Spend your money. Have fun. Take advantage of your days. Take advantage of your youth.
Wow,
it's a good note to end
that is a
on.
good note to end it on.
All right, guys. Thank you for tuning in.
Episode 21. Thanks for coming out, guys.
Check out Tier Takeover. Check out Blessed Vision. Got a lot going on this year, guys. Peace.
Peace.